The other thing is Mike Prefer let go earlier this week. Bubba Ventrone is scheduled to have an interview with the Browns today. So Ventrone, former Browns special teams captain back in 2011-2012, has been the special teams coordinator for the Colts. And when we look at what he has done there, you see why the Browns are interested in him. These are Pro Football Focus ratings for Ventrone's special teams. He went up 1 year. The first year he was there, second year went from 5th to 21st, then first, tied for second, tied for fourth. Jeff, when you talk about the Browns special teams just have to be better. They have been a negative the past couple of years.
In your special teams, it can never be negative. Nobody ever wants to talk about special teams. And it seems the only time anybody wants to talk about special teams is when it costs you ball games. The New York Jets game, week 2. The fact that Mike Prefer, wasn't able to, get Cade York from a strong beginning to a strong finish, but wasn't able to get him out of that funk that he hit in the middle of the season quicker. Also, this was a situation where I think the Browns, were interested in possibly, making a change there. But until staffs start to change and new hires come in and new regimes are born, necessarily, guys aren't fruit shaken off the tree. Now with a guy like Ventrone, new head coach in Indianapolis, and even, I think I want you here this year, but, obviously I have friends all over. I have friends in Philly that maybe I just can't get him here yet. So maybe your position isn't safe. The Browns are also bringing in Anthony Blevins today as well. So these guys start to become shake-free. And for a guy like Ventrone, look, he's been here. He's played for this organization. Brings him a little bit closer to home, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania native. And for a guy like Ventrone, for me, one of the most appealing things is, here was a guy, undrafted free agent out of Villanova, a great program at its level, but not known as an NFL powerhouse. And when he speaks, and if anybody's got anything to say, do you know what it takes to be a player in the NFL for a decade? And as an undrafted free agent, and you're making your living playing special teams, a guy like Ventrone, he's going to open his mouth. Guys are going to listen. And obviously, it certainly doesn't help, that his first gig was, he was a former Patriot. Once he was done with his playing days, the Patriots brought him in right away. If anybody remembers, he went to the Colts as part of a Josh McDaniels staff that Josh McDaniels never showed up to coach with. But you can make this move and get a guy like this in here. And I think, again, with Prefer, it just ran its course. It was 3 years. It wasn't ever excellent. It wasn't actually ever the worst. And I do think there were some signs this year. Jerome Ford returned the ball well as a kickoff returner. I think Donovan Peoples-Jones, once he grew more confident in his abilities as a receiver, you saw the return game aspect pick up like it was when he was a player at Michigan. But I think overall, coverage units, things of that nature, here's a guy that they're a little bit more familiar with. They're a little bit more comfortable with. And if you can make a change and you feel the change you made is better than the guy who was there before, you're foolish not to do it.